Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Gaurav Majumdar and you're watching CAD Make Engineer. Welcome everyone to my another video of using AutoCAD software. This video will be a tutorial video to make sketches and draftings by using drawing tools and modifying tools which we had learned in our previous videos. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Alright, so I have three drawings, this one, and this one. So we will complete these three draftings by using some of the drawing tools and modifying tools. So check out the first sketch. Okay, before doing the drafting, you have to first analyze it, study it, and then apply to your workspace. So as we can see, here is a rectangle with a filleted corner of radius 15, and there are some circles with different diameters and radius. It should be holes or any type of hubs. So there are circles, and there is a cutout right in the top center. Okay, so before doing drafting, first we set some boundaries. For that we have to select rectangle and specify the first point, which is 0, 0, and the second point will be, okay, let's see the highest dimension. The highest dimension is 129.6, which is the length, and the width is 91.8. Alright, so let it make 150 over 100 and zoom it with extend. Okay, so we have set the boundaries. Now we will start the the drafting. So first we have to select a rectangle. You can choose it directly from the panel, or you can activate by the command REC, which is the shortcut key of rectangle. So you have to specify the first point, but before specifying the first point you have to give the fillet, because it has filleted corners. So for fillet you have to press F and then enter, and you have to specify the fillet radius. So the fillet radius is 15, press enter. Okay, the fillet is being set, and now we have to specify the first point. You can specify the first point by using the coordinates, or by just putting your point anywhere like this and then drag down below. Alright, so before giving the second point or specifying the second point, let's see what's the coordinates, what is the fundamental of coordinates. So for that, let's go to the Paint app. Alright, let me extend this. Okay, so this is one axis and this is another axis. Okay, so this axis is negative x and this axis is positive x. Alright, and this axis is negative y and this axis is positive y. Alright, so let's divide with some segments with unit of 10 I'm just giving the segments in the positive axis. You can imagine these segments in the negative axis also. Okay, so this is the origin point, which is the 0, 0. Alright, and after that it is 10, then 20, and so on. This will be also 10, 20, and so on. Okay, so if a line having two coordinates with both having positive values, then your line should go in this direction. Okay, as this quadrant is having two positive values, x values and y values. But if your line is having one of them is having a negative value, suppose the x value is negative, then your line should go from this to this direction. Okay, and if your line is having negative values in both of them, then your line will be in this direction. And if your y value is in negative and the x value is in positive, then your line will go in this direction. So if you draw a line of suppose as we take the length of 129.6 and 91.8, so your line will be like as the x value will always come first. Okay, will always comes first, and the y value will comes second. So you have to specify the x value first and then the y value. I can't write the 2 with the lines, so I have to use the pencil. Okay, so if your line is like this and this, then you have to specify the x value as positive 129.6. okay, and the y value which is going downwards, that means you have to specify the negative term. This negative sign you have to give so that the line will goes below the x-axis, that means in the negative y direction. That means minus 91.8. okay, if you don't give the negative sign, then your line will go upward, as it has the positive value and it will go to the positive y direction. That's why you have to specify the direction by giving the negative sign. All right, so this is the fundamental which I want to clear it out. Okay, so specify the length first, which is 129.6, as it is in the positive x direction. That's why I will not give the negative sign and press comma for shifting towards the y direction or the y value, and give minus 91.8, and your rectangle is complete. Select the rectangle and select move command to move a little bit and position it correctly. Alright, so after that there are some holes or circles, but before that we can give the cutouts. So the length is 62.1 and the width is 18. Alright, so let's make a rectangle, but before that you have to again set the fillet to 0 as it doesn't contain any fillet. Alright, so it will be 62, right? Yes, 62.1. I'm sorry, I didn't mention the width, so it will be 62.1 comma 18. Okay, so let me move it, or you can just do this. Alright, and then again select and move by using the polar tracking. Okay, it is consuming much time, so let's do this one. Take the center point, drag it like this. We are in the negative zone. Okay, negative x-axis direction, negative y direction, that means in the negative zone. So let me put 62.1, that means 31.05, which is the length. I'm sorry, I didn't give the negative sign. Okay, now the width is in negative 18. Alright, now we will just mirror it by selecting the figure and then select the mirror command, select the first point for the mirror line and select the second point of the mirror line. I'm sorry, select, or you can just select the MI, which is the shortcut key of mirror, select the object, press enter and select the first point for the mirror line and the second point of the mirror line, and select the no, as we don't want to erase the source. Alright, so now we will use the trim command to trim this line. Okay, as it is a polyline, we can't delete it directly, so we have to trim it like this, and we have to also trim the upper part as there is no lines above it. Okay, like this. So the trimming part is complete and the cutout is not completed yet, because there is a curve right over here. Okay, so for that we have to check where its center point, and it shows that the center point is just below the top line with a dimension of 36.9. so let me take the circle, and the circle has a radius of 24.3. okay, so let me select the center radius circle. Okay, center radius, take this and this center point and this point. All right, and now okay, if it is 18, the width is 18, then how much I have to take to make it 36.9? so let's calculate it. Okay, calculator. So the highest value is 36.9, that means 36.9 minus the lowest value is 18, which is given. So 18, so I need 18.9. okay, So from here I will take the end point and drag to see the polar tracking line. Now I will just put the value of 18.9. Now you can see it had already set the center point, and now just I have to give the radius, and the radius is 24.3. So the radius is 24.3. Alright, so the curvature has also been given, and now we have to trimmed and trimmed. Okay, this looks perfect. Now the second circle is of radius 17.55, the bigger circle at the same center point. Okay, 17.55. Press enter. The inner circle is 21.6, but it is in diameter, so we have to select center diameter, select the center point, and give the radius of 21.6. It is 21.6, right? Yes, 21.6, and press enter. So the inner circle is also be given, and now let's check for the sides. Okay, so the bigger circle is having a diameter of 27, and there is a copy right in the side of this having a same diameter. It's only showing the inner circle with a radius of 10.8. that means the outer circle is having 27 diameter and the inner circle is having radius 10.8. so let's take the circle, center diameter circle, and okay, let's see. Okay, 81. As you can see, there is 81. Okay, with there is a center point for this hole or this circle. So following this line, following the center point, this circle has a center point right over this line. So as it is 81 total in both sides, that means the half is 81 divided by 2, 40.5. so let's take a line of negative 40.5. Okay, 40.5. Why that's happened, let me explain you. As I just kept my cursor in this direction, but I had given the negative sign, that's why the line goes in the opposite direction where the cursor is. So if your cursor is here and you had given the negative sign in front of your value or the coordinate, your point will be in the opposite direction. So before giving any signs, first check where is your cursor and then give your signs according to it. So it will be 40.5. Alright, now select the center diameter circle with a diameter of 27. and the inner circle is 10.8 radius. So can take take the center radius and specify the center point and specify the radius 10.8. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Alright, now delete this line because we don't need it anymore. Now as it is, as we can see in the diagram, that it has an identical figure in the opposite direction with the same distance, okay, from the center point. So we will just mirror this figure right over here by selecting the mirror command, the mirror tool, and select this object, press enter. Then we have to specify the first point of the mirror line and the second point of the mirror line, and then press no because we don't want to erase the source. Alright, so the circles, these identical circles, are being placed in its position, and let's check out for another two circles. Okay, the two circles having 4.5 radius with a distance of 81 with each other. So for that, now it's very easy to trace it. Just see it has radius. Okay, so select the center point. Okay, one more thing you have to see is this width, which is 10.73. so this is the line, this is the line. Okay, let me take this line from here to here and then here. No, let me take this line from here, and I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, 10 point, I think it's 73, right? Yes, 73.73. Press enter. Alright, now select the circle of center radius and select the center point, the radius of 4.5. delete this line and select this object, mi mirror, specify the first point of your mirror line and specify the second point of the mirror line. Select no, not to erase the source, and your diagram is complete. As you can see, this was the drawing and here is your drafting. Why I am calling this a drafting or a sketch, but I am calling this one as a drawing because it contains dimensions and it doesn't contains any type of dimensions. That's why this is still a drafting, a draft. There is no dimensions. You can't see any type of specified dimensions. It is made up of made with specified dimensions, but you can't see it. If someone is seeing this, he or she would take any type of dimensions of from her mind, from his mind, and they will do this drafting from their dimensions. So That's why I'm calling this drafting, as it is not yet completed because there is no dimensions. I will teach how to give dimensions in my teaching video, so stay tuned for it in this channel. Okay, so this one is complete. Now go on to the next one. Okay, so the next drawing is this one. So as we can see, it has a square, and in the corner there are 4 squares with one fillet corner of radius 2.2, and this square is also having a filleted corner of radius 4. Alright, so first make the square first by selecting the rectangle, and then specify the fillet. If the fillet radius is 4, yes, it is 4, and then drag it like this. And what is the length of the side? It is 40, so 40 comma 40 minus 40. All right, so by selecting it, we will move this figure to the center. Now let's zoom it a little bit. Okay, now let's add this circle to here. We will not make a square, but we will create a square. Okay, we will not directly select the rectangle and put it over there and give the dimensions of the square, but we will create a square manually. So first of all, we need the radius filleted corner of radius 2.2. that means this circle radius will be 2.2. all right, and now okay, before that there is a circle in the center which is 6.8 in diameter. So let's select the center diameter, select the geometric center, and specify the diameter. The diameter is 6.8. all right, now we will create this cutout in the corner side. Now take the polyline and first go to the quadrant point, mark it, and go to the second quadrant point and mark it. Where the two tracking points are colliding, just specify that point and specify the sides. So the side is, we have to calculate it manually. Okay, so the side is like 40 from here, and this one is 36. that means it has a gap of 4 in total, and if we half it, that means it is 2. okay, so from here to here it is 2. Now the second thing is that its length is, from here it is 36.4, and from here it will be from center. okay, so from here it is 36 in total. that means it will be 36.4 divided by 2. will be 18.2, and this one is 23.6. One is 18.2, another is 23.6 divided by 2 is equal to 11.8. That means 18.2 minus 11.8. 18.2 minus 11.8 will be 6.4. So the length of the side is 6.4. As it is square, that means it has equal sides. All the four sides are equal. This will also be 6.4. This will also be 6.4, and then close it. Okay, now use the trim tool to cut the excess part and the unwanted part, and then escape. As it is a separate drawing tool right over here, and we have to connect it with it. For that, you have to press J for the join command and select this two figure or the two entities, and then press enter. Then it will be a one single individual entity. Alright, now what we will do is put this figure in this four corner by using the array method. You can either use this rectangle array or the polar array. If you use this polar array, then you have to specify the center point, or if you use this rectangular array, then you have to specify the rows and columns. So let's see how the rectangular array works. So first select the rectangular array and select the object and press enter. So here are the figures. Here are the previews here, as you can see. So the column is 4. We need only 2 columns, and the row is 3. That means there is another one. We need only 2, and okay, so it will be in the downward position right over here, and the gap between them will be from this point to that point. It is hard to find the center point and or the distance from each other. That's why we will use the polar array. You can use the rectangular array, but you have to do some calculations which will take high time. So let's select this object, specify the center point, and the array will create the figures, but according to you, you have to specify the number of items, and done. And press enter to close the array. And here are the corners. Okay, you can also do this thing by using the mirror method, like selecting this object, then specify the mirror line by selecting the 2 points. Then this figure will come. After that, make this figure as a source and stretch a line from here to make the mirror line, and do this. But all the methods are consuming time. That's why we will use the polar array to reduce the time at its lowest. Now let's see for the cutout. Alright, so the cutout is having 8 units. Okay, now we will use a line for the reference. Okay, For the reference we will use some lines. Now here it is showing that 8, that means its half is 4. Okay, so let's take this point and stretch it to 4 units and enter. Now let's take this length, but the length is given like this, that the center point, from the center point up to this is 31 divided by 2, that means it will be 15.5. Take the line, take this point from here and 15.5. okay, so by zooming it, take this point and see the two polar tracking lines are colliding at this point. So specify this point and specify this point, as this line is perpendicular to this at this point, that's why I have selected this point. Now select this line and press delete. Now we got this line and stretch it from here up to 14 minus 18 is it's 4 plus 2 6, that means 3 unit. We have to stretch it 3 unit. Take the line, specify the first point and up to 3 unit specify the second point. Now there is a line of about 36 divided by 2 is 36 divided by 2 is 18. All right, so let's take the reference line from here to here is, alright, no, take this one and this point like this and stretch it up to what was the end result is 18, so up to 18 unit. Press enter. Trim this line. Okay, now there is a curve or a radius, so for that, which is about 0.45. okay, so you can take a circle of radius 0.45 and move this by selecting the quadrant as a base point. Alright, okay, select this, press M, select the object. Okay, all right, now let's zoom it a little bit. Perpendicular. Okay, now this is the excess part, so let's trim it. Okay, now the next part is this line is up to 20 mm. That means 14, 20 minus 14 is 6. That means it is 3. So again stretch a line from here to here. Okay, so don't select from this point, take this point and this point, and from the marked point you stretch it up to 3 units, and then is it 3 units? Yes. And now you have to stretch this line. Okay, you can escape from here. Alright, now trim this unwanted part. Now here is another curve of radius where it is given. Okay, 2.5. So take a circle of radius 2.5. Okay, now the thing is that this circle is not starting from its quadrant. Okay, so for that you have to take this line and see this line is not this point is not in the quadrant point. So for that, first you have to specify this line, okay, which is 15.5 with both sides. That means its half is, all the dimensions over here are interlinked with each other. If one of the dimensions are wrong, then all the dimension will become wrong. So you have to analyze it first, which one you have to give it first and which one you have to give it at the last. Okay, so it's 7.5 from the center, 7.75, and the length of this line is not given, I think so. The length is not given, but there is a line. No, it's not colliding in the center point. So okay, first take this and move it like this, but it will be not in the correct form. So search for another point where it will fit. So this is a line Okay, the cutout portion uh, is having doesn't have some of the dimensions for which it is hard to find, but um, okay, it is 20, that means 10. From here to here it is 10. Okay, let me take another line from here to here. Sorry. Okay, let's stretch it a little bit. Okay, now let me check if the quadrant is in this position. For that I have to select the fillet, and the fillet radius will be 2.5. So this one, sorry, F, enter. Fillet radius will be 2.5 and the objects will be this one and this one. No, you can't set fillet over this line, so for that you have to make a circle with a radius of 2.5. Alright, now select the move command and press it over here. Now one thing we can check is that where is its quadrant point. If the quadrant point is with this line, aligned with this line, then you can take the center point or the quadrant point and track it with it with this line. Okay, so let me check. I think the quadrant point aligned with this line, so if it is aligned with this line, then select this, take the move command and take the quadrant or the center point, and then like this. But it's not aligned with the center point because there is less gap right over here, but in the picture, as we can see, it has some length. So just undo it and check for more dimensions. No dimensions are given over here, so what you can do is select this, place it over here, and now select it and move according to your. Okay, let me move 0.1 unit. Okay, I think this will be no, let me move 0.15 more. Okay, now trim the excess part. Sorry, trim this one, and this one. Okay, now from here, from this quadrant point, stretch a line about up to 15.5, that means 7.75. So take the line from here and set up to 7.75. Now trace the line arbitrarily and select this line and stretch up to this point. Now take the trim tool and trim this line and trim this line. Alright, now what we have to do is that take some of the, okay, let's take a line and mark over here, sorry, like this, trim it, take the line command and if it is 90° both sides, then it is 45°, and if it is 45°, it is 90°, then it will be 45° from here also. That means let's override the angle. Um, 360 minus 45° is, I think, 315. Yes, it's 315. So let me override the angle above of 315. Alright, and drag it a little bit more by crossing this line and then trim it. Trim this part also, as we don't need it. Trim this. Okay, now okay, one more thing to trim is this one. Press enter. Now select this line, deselect it, okay, and press delete. So here the shape of the cutout has been created, and now the upper part has to be removed. For that, first of all, we have to place some fillet curves like here and here of radius 5. So let us check. Let me first put the value. Okay, again. Okay, so it is done. Now we will select all of this, and we can also join it. Now selecting it, we will mirror it like this. No, and trim the excess part which we don't need, and delete this line as it is a reference line. Now your cutout is complete. Okay, the cutout is complete, and now we will again combine this by using join command, and now we will array it. Select the items up to 4, then close the array. Here you will trim this part, trim, press enter. Okay, you don't need to be trimmed here. You have to place a line, just one line. So let me undo this. Only trim this part and this part, press enter, and now from here you have to stretch a line from here to here, press enter, and use the trim tool to trim this part. Okay, one thing for that you have to stretch this line so that it will make a limit. Now use the trim tool to trim. Okay, there is a problem, we can't trim it. Let me check once again. No, we can't trim this, so for that we need to explode it. Now let's check it. Yes, now we can trim it. Okay, like this we can finish this sketch. Alright, so the sketch is now completed. As you can see, this sketch is now completed. Okay, let's move on to the third figure. This one is very much easy. As you can see over here, it has 3 circles, 3 outer circles, 3 inner circles. This holes can be made with polar array, and we have to just do this design manually. So first we need 2 circles. This bigger circle which is of radius 50, and this one is of 30. Okay, we need a bigger limit because this box can't hold that drawing. So for that we need from 0, 0 up to Okay, let it be in filleted corner to 250 comma 200. I think here it will fit. Now zoom this to extend. Okay, now let's see and analyze it from where we will start. So this outer circle is of radius 30 and this outer circle is of radius 50 with a distance of 100 unit. So let me first put that bigger circle right over here with a radius of 50. Okay, it's too big, and now we will take it up to 100 unit and okay, it's still going outside. I have to make this rectangular more big, so for that I have to take like 300 by 300, 250. It will be okay. Now zoom it, extend. Alright, now take the circle, place it in the center with a diameter radius of 50. Now take another circle from here to here, its center, the distance is 100. Now specify the radius, which is 30. Alright, now what we will do is that we will set the inner circle, this one, which is about 30 diameter. So the inner circle is 30 in diameter. Now let's do this circle. Okay, here also the length is not given up to what extent it will be put. So one of the dimension is missing, but let me check if there is a alternate dimension over there. So from here to here, this circle is about in 20 unit from the center point. It's for it, but for this circle no dimensions has been given. So let me take arbitrary length, or I will give length according to me. So for that I have to take this line and specify the angle of 45 degree, and now let me specify 150. So the circle center will be 150. For that it will collide and go outside the boundaries, so let me move it first. Okay, I think 50 units is okay. Now take the circle and inner diameter is 20 and outer diameter is 50. So the inner diameter is 20 and again the outer diameter T is 50. Alright, so now we have to give this arc So we can give this arc by using circle of different method, which is tan radius, because this circle is in tangent with this circle and also tangent with this circle, so there will be tan, which is tangent, and the radius is specified, that means it will be tan radius. So let's take the circle with the method of tan radius and specify first object, second object, and specify the radius, which is 60. So this circle has been created. Now let's trim the part, and here you can see the arc is created. Now repeatedly again select the two objects for the tangent point and specify the radius. Here the circle has been made. Now you can remove the excess part, press enter. But here we can see the middle part is too much narrow, which is not required. So for that we have to move this circle below. First we have to override the angle, and now 125. Okay, I think it will be okay. Now take the inner diameter as 20, outer diameter as 50. Now I think this shape will be in correct form. Yes, it is in correct form. Okay, so these two sides are created. Now remove this excess material like this. Okay, and again here also you can see there is a curve with a radius 40. So take this circle, tan radius, and specify the radius point. I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't know, did I given this circle correct form? So again I have to select the tangent point and the radius. Okay, again in this side. Alright, now trim the excess part, then press enter. Delete this line as we don't need it. And now we have to check this circle of radius 22. Okay, let's make this, but before making it we can make this circle, we can make this design but for that we have to make a circle of radius 40. So let's take center radius circle, specify the center point and specify the radius. It is 40, right? Yes, it is 40 in radius. So the radius has been set. Now there is a line with a gap of 22 radius. If it is 22, and sorry, it is 4 in radius. Okay, so let me take a line from the center point and make it 2 unit up, and now extend this line up to there, and again take this point 2 unit down and extend this line up to here. Okay, now use the trim tool to cut this, as we don't need this one also. Alright, now let's check what else we can do. So here this radius has also is also not given. So if it is 22, you can use 25 radius. So like take this point, sorry, you have to make a circle for that. So 120, okay, rough radius 22. So take that circle from this point of 20 units, and it has a radius of 22. Alright, now create another circle right over here, and it will be of radius 25. Okay, so you got this arc. Now here you can just give a fillet. The fillet radius also had not given, so let it give about 5 in radius. So for that we have to trim this part, and this part, trim this part also. Now okay, trim this also and this also. Okay, so select this and press delete, as we don't need. And now we will use the fillet. Set the fillet radius, sorry, set the fillet radius by pressing R. Okay, it's already in. Like this. Okay, you have to trim this part. Now select the fillet, give it like this. Again repeat. To repeat any command, you can press space bar to repeat the command you had used previously. Okay, so this design also completed. Now the last thing is these holes. So for that we have to make a hole. The PCD is also not given. The PCD is the pitch circle diameter, which is also not given, but we will take according to us. So let it give 17.5 radius, 17.5. no, it's too big, so let's give it 15. Yeah, this is fine. Now take a circle and let's check its radius. Okay, it's 4. Now specify the radius. Okay, now you can delete this PCD. We don't need it anymore. Now select the array tool, select the object, press enter, specify the center point, and as it contains 6 objects, 1 2 3 4 5 6, that's why we will give here 6 number of items and close the array. Now this diagram is also been completed. Here you can see. Okay, so we had completed three figures. All right, so I think we had learned lots of things about using the drawing tools and modifying tools. We will also learn the rest of the tools in next videos, which we will apply on other drawings or draftings or sketch. Okay, so by this we completed our tutorial of using the drawing tools and modifying tools, and okay, it is completed. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you find this video very much interesting and helpful to you, then make sure you hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, then subscribe this channel and press the bell icon so you all never miss any updates. If you have any type of questions or queries or doubts, then you can ask me in the comment section down below. So see you all in my next video. Till then, take care, love you all, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.